guys, so today I'm going to be trying Spam's limited edition flavor, Figgy Pudding. This came out, I want to say mid-November, like November 15th or something like that. And I heard about it, I saw it on a social media post a couple days later. And ever since, I've been desperately trying to find it because I am very curious what this tastes like. Now, like a lot of different things these days, when something gets popularity and it goes viral, which this did, it went semi-viral. A lot of people shared it because it's kind of a, you know, either sounds really cool or really gross. For a lot of people, it just probably sounds gross. But what happened was it was only available for sale at Walmart.com, the Spam official page on Amazon.com, and in Walmart stores. Now, as far as Walmart stores, I've never seen an actual facing. Like if you go to the section with all the Spam cans, it's not like there's a little tag that says Figgy Pudding. It's not a permanent product, it's a limited edition thing, so this would be on some kind of a display at Walmart. But I never found it at Walmart. And if you went to the website, Spam's official website just brings you to Walmart's page that was selling it. It was always out of stock. It sold out immediately. So did the Amazon page, sold out immediately. And what happened was a bunch of people bought it. I mean, a bunch of people got these originally as like funny stocking stuffers, I suppose. That's what a lot of people were saying in like reviews. The other people who bought them put them on eBay to scalp them. That's right. Just like anything else, if there's interest, people are trying to flip it for money. So these are supposed to be $13 originally. I think it was $13 for a 2-pack. And then it was on sale for like $9.98 for a 2-pack. So they're supposed to be like $5 a can. But if you go on eBay right now, if you really want these, you got to go on eBay. Unless you get lucky enough to see them pop back in stock, which is what happened to me. I'll tell you in a second. But people are selling them for like $20 a can plus. Like literally, if you got one of them on there, you're going to see prices from $20 to $30. Some people have $10 to $20 shipping. Some people are selling a 2-pack. Some people are selling a 4-pack for like $60 or something ridiculous. So, I mean, you know, people are just flipping it for money because everyone's interested. And, you know, the demand is extremely high and the supply is extremely low. So my very quick story is when I wanted this, I bookmarked the page that it was on Walmart, and I checked a couple times a day, every day. And at some point, like a week ago, I happened to see it was in stock. It just showed in stock. I didn't even actually believe it. I put it in my cart immediately, and then I looked for other things to put in the cart. That's why I ended up with those couple knife sets that turned out to be really nice knives. The fixed blades in particular are just an amazing set for 15 bucks. But anyway, I put those in the cart and immediately ordered it. And even then, I still didn't really believe that it was in stock until, of course, I got a confirmation, and then eventually I got shipping information, and then it showed up at the house. So I was very pleasantly surprised that it was actually in stock for a very short period of time. Now, some people might be thinking, okay, Jeff, well, what is Figgy Pudding? I mean, maybe you've heard it in a Christmas song. Maybe you've noticed it in one of the versions of A Christmas Carol, you know, the Scrooge movies. Mrs. Cratchit brings out a figgy pudding that's on fire. I'm kind of a weirdo, so one year I actually did that for Christmas. I made my own homemade figgy pudding, and I poured it, you know, rum all over the top of it, and I lit it on fire, did the whole thing. I actually thought it was delicious. Figgy pudding is just an old-time dessert that was reserved for the holidays, for Christmas. Imagine fruitcake. If you know what fruitcake is, it was like the original OG fruitcake. Now, fruit back in the Victorian area was a very expensive item. It's not something people had all the time. Like you might be, you know, grabbing oranges and, you know, bananas and apples and things from the grocery store like it's no big deal. But back then, that stuff was expensive. So you had these specialty cakes with candied fruit and stuff in them because it was a special time, or maybe you spent a little more money on something like that. So it's like a big grand dessert, the Figgy Pudding. So now if you hear it in a Christmas song or if you see it in a movie, you'll know what it is. So what Spam did was they made a Figgy Pudding flavored Spam. What's kind of funny is that I saw a few people bought these thinking it was actually a dessert, that it was Figgy Pudding just made by Spam. It's not. It's the regular old ham product with different spices to make it supposed to taste like Figgy Pudding. But it's interesting, they put a bunch of slices on the picture. It almost looks like a Figgy Pudding, but it's not. It's just creative marketing. So, anyway, with no further ado, we're going to crack this can open. I'm going to have to grab a plate and a knife. And I'm going to give this a sniff right now. Let's see what it smells like. Okay, it smells like 90% just regular Spam, if you ever had Spam before. But there is some spices in there, specifically cinnamon. And maybe a little nutmeg. It's a strange experience because you smell meat, but then you also smell some kind of lovely, you know, pumpkin pie spice type thing going on in there. Some kind of holiday spice mix, which smells very good and sweet. It actually smells like it's on the sweet side. So I'm very curious to see what this is going to be like. Now, if you don't know, Spam is a fully cooked product. You know, it's not common knowledge. Like, not everyone eats Spam. You know, everyone might kind of know what it is. Like, oh yeah, Spam, it's that gross meat in a can or whatever. But if you don't normally eat it, you might not know that you're supposed to really kind of heat it up. Now, it does say on here somewhere, I believe, that it's ready to eat, hot or cold. So fully cooked, ready to eat, cold or hot. However, it's the world of a difference. If you had Spam, if you like for the first time ever you got a can of Spam and you like took it out, took a slice and just took a bite of it, it's really a completely different thing than if you actually cook it. Now, I say cook it, it's not raw, but what you're doing is you're caramelizing pieces of it and making it crispy and crunchy and delicious. Imagine bacon, the difference between crispy bacon and bacon that's barely cooked. Yeah, it might taste similar, but it's a completely different experience. You might really hate undercooked bacon. You think it's disgusting, but crispy bacon is somehow delicious to you. It's no different with Spam, all right? So I would highly recommend, if you've never actually cut this into slices and like fried it in a pan, or baked in the oven, or did something to actually heat it up. I'm actually going to cook this in an air fryer to get it nice and crispy. It's the world of a difference. So, but I am going to try it in its raw state here as well. So let me grab a knife and a plate, and we're going to get this thing cut up. And then, of course, once it's all cooked, I'll go ahead and get in front of the camera so you can see my reaction here in trying this for the first time. All right, so I got my cute little cleaver here, which you guys did not see a video on yet, but I just got gifted that. So you'll see that in a video coming up. My little sign that my wife made. I thought that was kind of fun. And when this came, this was all ripped up in the box. They weren't even actually in the thing, I guess, from shipping, because, you know, Walmart just threw it in a massive box like everyone else does, even though it's a tiny little product. But long story short, it's made a little sign for the background here. All right, so let's get this thing out. Squeeze the can a little bit. You have to give this a good little shake. Whoop, don't hit your camera when you're doing this. All right, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, here it comes. It's a boy. All right. So, nice clean empty can. Nice coagulated block of meat. So, we're going to go ahead and slice this guy. Oh, it's trying to get away from us. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slice a much thinner piece. All right, because if you like this stuff crispy, this will fry up super crispy. So leave that on the side. I'm going to slice a thicker piece. Again, if you've never had Spam before, if you do a thick piece like this, the outside will get crispy, but the inside will still be a little mushy. It's just a different texture. It really comes down to preference. And then we're going to try a piece in its quote-unquote raw state. And then we will save this for another time. I'll have to use this up. Maybe this will be part of tomorrow's breakfast or something. All right, so first off, let's try it raw. Try a little piece here. Give it another smell. Oh yeah, it smells, now that it's kind of like opened up a little bit, it is really aromatic. You know, I smell kind of like cardamom and nutmeg and cinnamon. And it's weird, it does smell slightly sweet. All right, well, I'm gonna try a piece right now. I know I'm not facing the camera yet, but I'm quite curious. So let's try it in this state, see what it's like. That tastes very similar to how it smells. I taste all the spices that are in there. It's really not that bad in this state. Now, I don't normally eat Spam. I've eaten Spam, I don't know, a couple dozen times in my life. I would say once a year, maybe I eat it once or twice. It's not like a regular meat option or meat choice for like a breakfast meat or something, or even lunch. I mean, a lot of people cook with Spam for all different types of meals, but I just, once in a blue moon, like, you know, sometimes for breakfast I'll have some bacon. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of tail ham, if I have a tail ham sandwich or something. Sometimes I'll have bagels, sometimes some cereal, sometimes a granola bar, sometimes a meal replacement shake. It really just depends. Sometimes I don't even have breakfast. But like once in a while, it pops in my head like, oh, let me just get Spam. Or if you've ever had scrapple. Scrapple's another weird, gross meat to a lot of people, but properly prepared, it's actually pretty good. Now, scrapple you would never eat in this particular state. You'd actually cook it. But anyway, so long story short, it's not offensive. It's not gross. It's interesting. But if you like it like this, like I'm kind of digging it. Those spices and man, it's really, they definitely nailed like a holiday flavor, let's say. As some people would refer to it as a craft store smell. So if you walk into Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any of those stores, that smell that's in the air, that potpourri, you know, cinnamon pine cone thing that's going on, that's very much in the flavor here for sure. If you don't like that, then this is definitely not for you, especially if you don't like Spam. This would be gross to a lot of people, but there's a select few out there with reserved palates that can appreciate something like this. So yeah, let me go ahead and throw these pieces in the air fryer. We'll crisp them up and I'll be right back. We'll try them. All right, I'm back. It is all ready. So first off, let me show you the difference here in color. This is the Spam right out of the can. Okay. Here's the cooked Spam. It's still pretty hot. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me see if I can get a side-by-side here real quick. So, yeah, if you've never cooked the stuff or heated it up, there's a huge difference. Now, the skinny piece basically became a meat chip of sorts. All right, so if you like it super crispy, I guess that's the way to go. All right, so I have a little strip. Here's the out of the can, so I get a redo of the flavor. So here we go. Try it out of the can. There's Spam in the background, but it's definitely on the sweeter side and definitely has all those seasonal spices. Not bad though. Let's try the chip. That's interesting. It made it, it definitely made it sweeter. That's similar to like, if you've never taken a piece of pepperoni, like if you like pepperoni and you eat it all the time, take a piece of pepperoni, and put it on a paper towel and put it in your microwave for like 15 seconds. What happens is it cooks all that fat out and it becomes crispy like this. It becomes a meat chip, essentially, which would be fantastic if you happen to be on some kind of meat carnivore diet or even keto. It's keto friendly. But it's just a different thing. Making meat just crunchy is fascinating. It's very strange. But anyway, the real thing, this is how I believe it's supposed to be prepared. You can see it's not a super thin, but not super thick either. Let's go ahead and cut this in half. All right, because I don't need all this right now for taste testing. But here you go. So the inside is cooked. I have to use air quotes because it's not raw. It doesn't need to be cooked. But this is how I believe you should be, eating your Spam at least. At least what's maybe more common. So, cheers. Oh, that's not half bad. Wow. Okay, so it's like miles better. Miles better? I don't even know. Miles better. I don't know where that came from. It is light years better than out of the can. All right, so please heat up your Spam. It's the difference of like if you have a piece of raw onion and then you take that onion and you saute it. A sauteed onion tastes completely different than a raw onion, right? Now take that sauteed onion and make caramelized onions. It's a different flavor even from the sauteed onions. So just by adding that heat, you're caramelizing the sugars and the fat that's in this. It's not just straight ham. Obviously, I do add sugar to this, so that caramelizes. It becomes a whole different thing. As far as out of the can, Definitely passable. Definitely, you know, something that you can eat even if you're not really into Spam, if you were super hungry. But I think like this is the way to eat it. This is actually really enjoyable. Now, I'm weird. I like all kinds of weird, strange food things. So, I probably shouldn't be talking with my mouth full. I like it. But again, I'm kind of a weirdo. I'd have to assume, based on everything I know in my entire life, that 9 out of 10 people would probably despise this. But one of you out there, one of you lucky viewers out of every 10 would probably like this. So I do think that it's worth trying if you can find it. I do not think it's worth spending $20 on a can on eBay, but if that's your only choice, that's your only choice. I will say you can't just take a regular piece of Spam and just add cinnamon and, you know, cardamom and nutmeg to it and get the same product. We obviously don't know the proportions of spices in here. So it's definitely its own thing. I don't think you could recreate this. But it's either something you try or you don't try. But them doing this whole, you know, limited time only flavor thing, it's just, you know, it's a gimmick. It's a total gimmick. I know that they, like 3 years ago, they did a pumpkin spice version of Spam. I can never find it. I always wanted to try it. I don't know if they'll bring that back for next fall or something, or if they'll just do something completely new. But it's just fascinating. It's really fascinating. But it really is like, it's 99.99999% gimmick. It's not something where you're going to go like, you know, oh, I like Spam, but this is just, you know, light years better. It's not going to replace your regular Spam. But I will say this is delicious. It is sweeter. So if you don't like the idea of sweet meat, you're probably going to want to pass on this. But we finished chewing this. I dig it. I think it's awesome. I'm very happy that I was able to try it. It is a food experience, and that's what I'm always looking for, whether something is delicious or just okay or gross. I like trying things. I think I mean, that's what life's all about. It's all about the journey. So for me, it was a fun experience, but it's not something that I have to have. It's not something that's so delicious that I cannot wait until next year when they bring back Figgy Pudding Spam, you know? It's just a one-time thing for me. Now, obviously, I still have an unopened can, and then I have the 2-pack. The 2-pack I'm just saving forever, just to be fun. The unopened can, I might eat, you know, New Year's or something like that, just to get rid of it, or maybe I'll wait. These cans, if you're buying them this season, which I guess is the only time you could buy them since they were just released, but these are good until 2025. All right, now beyond 2025, you're still safe in eating this until 2027. Now beyond that, it's anyone's guess. Technically it's safe to eat, but I think that you have until 2027 to actually eat this and enjoy it how it was meant to be enjoyed. So I'm in no rush to eat the other can. But yeah, there you go. If you guys happen to get lucky enough to try, or unlucky enough to try, Spam's Figgy Pudding flavored Spam, let me know down in the comment section what you think of it. But like I said, I'm kind of strange and I really enjoyed it. So that's all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.